Hey there, it's just another day. Welcome back. And today we have another good one here. We're talking about flying cars. And I made mention of something in a previous video when I was talking about Waymos and Teslas, as well as other types of autonomous vehicles, and made a mention of, when they get to flying cars, that that's going to be something. And we have come to that point where it's coming this summer. So based on the article, I'll link in the description, says the federal government announced a new pilot program with new kinds of ultralight vehicles and eVTOLs getting up and running around the country, even if they're not fully FAA certified. So it's a little concerning if they're going to be putting these up in the air and doing all kinds of testing. They're still not fully certified, and I guess that's part of the process. But they say these are new kinds of aircraft. They're sort of like flying cars, and they can take off and land with really no need for a runway. It's going to be pretty similar to how helicopters work. They just need a little bit of space. Dog, I don't think is too pleased with the crows. Anyway, they are going to be starting as early as June, so that's just a couple months away, and they'll be pretty much in 8 regions across the U.S. So New York, New Jersey, Texas, Florida, and Albuquerque, New Mexico are some places. And it's a 3-year pilot program with new designs ferrying people and cargo around the country. Again, not FAA certified. Would you get one of these at this point in the program? I think I'd have a little bit of a difficulty trusting these things until they've got quite a number of hours under the belt. So they're supposed to be quieter, cheaper, and fewer emissions than helicopters or airplanes, and some are promising totally autonomous trips. And again, you don't have a pilot with you to correct things if things start going a little weird. Again, you're relying completely on the technology to pick you up, take you where you need to go, put you down safely, and I guess we'll see how it goes. Many involved in the project, including electrical, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, and ultra-short takeoff aircraft require less space and no landing or landing strips or anything like that. So it'd be pretty much like a helicopter. You have a landing pad, and they're supposed to be putting it into areas closer to where people live. So similar to how, like on the top of high-rises in these cities, they'll have a big chopper pad. There'll be, I guess, different little parking strips for these types of vehicles, and they'll just come down, pick up their occupants, take them where they need to go, and that's what they're envisioning. So it says regular people can zip between neighboring cities in a matter of minutes, sailing above traffic and reordering the economy as they go. It makes me think of this commercial when I was, I guess it was back in I can't remember, it was the 80s or 90s. This is when SUVs really first started making headway. And the commercial, and I tried looking it up, I could not find it, but I know it exists. So there's a commercial where there's a lady driving, and she's so excited because she's driving and she says, "Look, I can see over all the other cars." And so that's kind of where this is at. The SUV now, it's just like every other SUV on the road, so you can't see over the other cars typically. But back then, when most people were driving sedans and station wagons, an SUV was up higher, so yeah, you could see way down the road, see what's coming up. This is sort of the same setup here with these autonomous flying cars. There's going to be just kind of a few to have experience with it, know what it's like to get up and over the city and bypass all the traffic. But eventually we're going to be like the Jetsons. If you remember how the show went, there's always this traffic in the air all around the airborne city that they lived in. So, and you have your stop signs up in the middle of the air and have to follow a path. I envision it's going to be like that at some point. So there's a company called Archer Aviation. Adam Goldstein's the CEO, and he says, this is our Waymo moment. So just like Waymo getting started with their autonomous cars and kind of launching things once they felt pretty comfortable that, this is feasible, that's where they're at with this flying car situation here. So the goal is to have 500,000 people in the biggest cities in the country start to see these aircraft as part of your everyday commute, just like they started to see Waymos every day. Now, I just saw another Waymo video. Someone was in one of these autonomous cars, and the car was trying to cross a road where it was thick with traffic, and the cars just kept coming. And I'll see if I can find that again and link that in the description too. But they were scared to death because this car just starts trying to pull out into traffic, and cars aren't really letting up, and I think they felt they were getting ready to get hit. It looked a little terrifying for the few minutes that it took to get out into the flow of traffic. So I kind of envision that's what this is going to be like. The Electra air taxi by Archer was called Midnight, built to carry up to 4 passengers on 60 to 90-minute trips. And the company will take part in pilot projects in Texas, Florida, and New York. So, you know, again, it's designed to be short little trips, take you where you need to go. But again, who's going to be the guinea pigs to get in these cars and take these trips? You always hear about small aircraft having issues sometimes when things go not as planned, and you know they have to put the aircraft down. What kind of safety features, if with this flying car, if it all of a sudden starts having electrical issues, or you know the blue screen of death like Windows, and all of a sudden it doesn't know where it's at? I just envision this being kind of a scary possibility here. Other companies involved in the pilot, you have Beta Technologies, Toyota, and JetBlue funded air taxi maker Joby Aviation, and Electra, which is building a hybrid electric ultra short aircraft. All 4 of these firms have completed test flights in the US. So that's another thing, electric planes, they keep wanting to make this a reality. Range on electric cars is terrible compared with, you know, gas saving or gas cars or hybrids. So some of these are actually coming out with some electric, some gas powered or fuel powered engines. And so Electra CEO Mark Allen says, what we love about the pilot is the chance to demonstrate that this isn't fantasy, it's not science fiction, it's the real world. I mean, what are your thoughts on all this? Is this something you're excited about? Is this something that you can picture sometime in your lifetime getting into one of these driverless flying cars and going on a trip somewhere and maybe saving some time doing it, but you know, entrusting your life into the hands of this this company? So the Trump administration signaled its support for the new aviation tech in June when the president signed an executive order meant to cut burdensome red tape. This is around the operation of drones, flying cars, and supersonic aircraft in the US. So this is a plan that the Biden administration actually released back in 2023, trying to get airborne taxis by 2028 in time for the Olympics. So this is something they were hoping to showcase by the time we have the Olympics in LA. I guess it was just taking too much time with a lot of government tape and red tape. And so this current administration is trying to give it a kick start. So this is where all this is coming from. It's taken years for the companies that build them to receive the full certifications from the government. The novel aircraft needs new rules and safety standards and have to go through several rounds of certifications before they can even begin to carry paying passengers. None of the companies involved have completed this certification. So again, we're still so early, and I know, you know, we're talking 2 years from now. That's a short amount of time to get all this taken care of and have something that's safe and follows these new rules that have been in place. So they're trying to pull even with China. The government has given homegrown firm EHang certifications to operate autonomous eVTOLs, and the company says it will start by operating sightseeing flights in a few Chinese cities. Dubai plans to start providing air taxis with Joby Aviation as early as this year. So US is playing catch up, so that's why they're sort of kind of fast tracking this. Hopefully it doesn't create a problem trying to speed things along. We'll have to see. A video published by the US Department of Transportation on Monday opens with the Jetsons zipping around Orbit City in their flying car. The new aircraft are going to make the airspace far more interesting and far more fun, and we have to be prepared for that. So it'd be interesting to see, like, are they having to have planned routes? Sort of like airplanes today, they follow certain routes to go to certain cities. A lot of it has to do with weather. What do you do when the weather gets bad? What are the rules for grounding aircraft? Is it going to be similar to an airplane? Obviously, we drive cars in the rain and snow. Can you do that with these flying cars as well? The pilot projects will focus on urban air taxi services and cargo and logistics networks, but also on regional passenger transportation and emergency response operations. Many of the firms also have military and defense funding and contracts. So there's a lot going on with this. It remains to be seen. I'm sure we'll see more coming up in the next few months, and I'm sure I'll do more videos on this. What are your thoughts on flying cars? Is this something, like I said, that you can see, getting involved in? Are you excited about this as a possibility? I've seen the Waymos in Las Vegas, and I'm not there yet. I'm not getting into one. It might be silly, but I'd rather just jump in an Uber or rent a car and take myself. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, and if you know of other stories, other things that kind of go along with this, link those as well. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.